Hello, welcome to an impromptu tarot after dark. Apologies for being a couple moments late. That's what happens when you switch things up. So, priorities, had to take care of Mojo, make sure he's got what he needs. So, thank you for being here. Oh my goodness. How's everybody doing? If you're here for Tarot After Dark, this is all about playing with tarot. If you are curious, if you're not sure, but you want to learn more, that's what today is for. That's what Tarot After Dark is all about. So if you have tarot cards, get them out, get them handy. I also like to incorporate oracle cards sometimes. So if you don't have tarot and you have oracle, play along. There's really no rules. It's after dark, which means under cover of the night, we can do whatever we want. We play by our own rules. That's what it's all about. So let's pull a tarot, not a tarot, an oracle card. I've got the Shaman Dream Oracle here just to kind of get a sense of what this is about. It feels like there's more than one card here, but no, that's just one, right? They're just thick cards, which is awesome. Oh, it's my favorite number. We got 33. Joyful Muse, inspiration. He looks a bit strung out. Joke included. And what I pick up from this is sometimes you've got to force the fun. Maybe your energy's feeling a little bit low or you're afraid to play with tarot because you feel like it needs to be serious. Well, you're drawn here for a reason, and I'm going to show you that you don't need to be serious about tarot. Tarot isn't the end all be all. Tarot doesn't mean if you pull a card, it's going to come true. Tarot is a means for giving yourself some ideas or inspiration or messages. Tarot is the muse. Okay. And I like to make it fun. I like to make games of it because literally on these decks, it says US Games System. Games. Games. Games are meant to be fun. Games are meant to sometimes challenge us, which is when you pull a card and you're like, I don't remember what it means. Well, you're not meant to remember what it means. Okay. Yes, tarot is a system compared to oracle cards, which are whatever the person who created it wants it to be. Tarot is a little more formatted and structured, but don't mistake format and structure for rigidity. That's where some tarot teachings definitely differ from the way I teach tarot. Because I believe our own experiences are what color what comes up in a tarot reading. So if you're new to tarot, welcome, shout out. Justin, hey, good to see you. You've got a deck. Excellent. Excellent. Yes, and you have to believe. And if you don't believe, you've got to just start playing with it a little bit. Confidence doesn't come from learning. Confidence comes from just stepping in and doing it, right? What kind of deck did you get? Curious to know. And thank you for letting me know that. I love it. I hope I was the inspiration. I feel like my hair is just kind of gone a little crazy today. Pittsburgh, Mississippi. Yeah, you're live. Thanks for being here. Jimmy Armstrong, Shelly Crochet. Sweet. Love it. Love it. It comes from playing. Exactly, Trish. It totally does. You got to play to get the confidence. It's like anything. You're wanting to learn how to play volleyball, right? You're not going to know until you practice. What I love about volleyball is you got to kind of know each of the positions. It was me. So, and it's the traditional Rider-Waite deck, most likely. I believe that's a good place to start, but I'm also a believer, and you've got to start with a deck that feels good and inspires you. Well, if it wasn't that, it was maybe the Lightseer Tarot, because that's a really good one. Tarot's more like looking at clouds. Yeah, we kind of used that analogy before, didn't we? Because what you see might be different than what I see. And it changes. It changes by what your own emotional state is. You're going to look at a card in a different way. You're going to see the symbolism in a different way. One person who would see a butterfly as a symbol of transformation, another person's going to see it as a symbol of, well, that reminds me of a loved one who's passed on, right? It changes. Yeah, it's the Rider. Okay, cool. Yeah. And that's great, because that is a good place to start. Even if you might look at the symbols or the cards and think, how does this relate to now? Just look at the symbolism. Don't look at the weird clothes they wear. It's a reflection of your thoughts in the moment of time. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Nicole, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. So I was also a couple minutes late because I'm in the middle of editing a video. I'm doing some more breaking the major arcana down into like chapters, because we all know the major arcana is like the fool's journey or the hero's journey, but there's also chapters to it. So I've been working on that. And it's always fun to do things on your own, from, creating the what you're going to say, to filming it, to editing it. And yeah, so it's a process, let's say. All right, so I had 3 cards as I was talking about that come through here. So I feel like there is a message. We have the King of Pentacles. And isn't that funny, Justin, that of the cards that I've been working with lately, I wanted to use the regular Rider-Waite. So I think it's fantastic. So we've got the King of Pentacles, which to me is saying time to be comfortable and trust the process that you've gone through, giving yourself the time to wallow in what you've created in your surroundings, feel comfortable in your home, and give yourself that time to, before you jump over to the next thing, give yourself time to really appreciate what you've done and what you've created. And then we have the 10 of Cups, which is really feeling into the possibilities, bringing all of those 10 cups up in the rainbow down to earth. If they're still up in the ethers, we don't have them down to earth with us yet. So we want to be in a way of receiving that. So we aren't just focused on it being outside of ourselves. We can see it as something that we're worthy of, and we can bring it forward into our existence now. And then the third card that came is the 5 of Wands, which can sometimes be seen as conflict and competition, right? Justin saying, I used to be able to see things before they happened, but I kind of pushed it out. I felt different. Yeah, well, I think it's being able to filter stuff like that out, especially if it was something that kind of felt awkward or uncomfortable. Clearly, if it was a gift you had, you probably still have it. Feel the joy. Yeah, that's definitely what the 10 of Cups is all about. Trish, you got the 10 of Swords. So yeah, there's lots of 10s, lots of coming to fruition. I know people see 10s as endings, and yet it's like coming to the climax of what you've wanted to create and get ready for the next phase. So with this 5 of Wands, this is friendly practicing competition, which gets you prepared, which conditions you to be stronger in the actions that you take. Sometimes I see this as one person with different energy, with different personas, the different things that they have to do in their life. It really depends on what's going on. Yeah, and it's February the 10th. Good point. Good point. Huh. Oh, I forgot to get water. Darn it. Been sipping it through creating my editing my video. I got a tiny bit left. All right. So let's pull some more cards here. Before we just willy-nilly pull cards, okay? Because I already did that. And you got your card deck out. So let's focus on an actual question. Query. What's the difference between question and query? Question is something specific you're asking. What, when, who, where, how. And a query is just a generalized, why are you pulling the cards? It's an intention. So let me think of one. I got a really easy one. This is great when you really don't know what to ask. What do I need to know right now? Okay, so collectively, what do we need to know right now? Pulling the first card, judgment. When I see this, other than seeing that I put colored costumes on them so I don't get a copyright, or not a copyright strike, but I just don't get a strike because they're not unclothed. Let's see, 1 and 0 are a very divine number also. Yes, definitely. Yeah, because ones are the beginnings again. So with judgment, what I'm picking up is definitely feeling in the collective that we're questioning what's going on or what our reaction is to certain things in our life, in media, or what have you. So I invite you, if you got a deck, pull a card as a continuation of this card. Pop it in the comments there. Add your little blurb of what message you get from it, and we'll see where that goes from there. And I really need to get some water because I haven't had water for a bit. So don't go anywhere. I'm just going to grab my water jug and come right back. Luckily, I have a tiny place. Water is just, it's a conductor of energy. And it's really good if you don't drink enough water to start drinking a little more water, because that's going to allow you to really let your energy be more conducive to what's going on around you. So if you ever feel like you're getting tired, or even if you feel like you're getting hungry, a lot of times it's just that you're thirsty and you need to quench that thirst. So let me do that right now. Oh, that's much better. All right. Did anyone pull a card? I'm not seeing comments. And thanks for being here. I kind of switched things up because I end up having something that I'm got to be doing Thursday, so I won't be able to do Tarot After Dark. So, okay, no clarifiers yet. I'll pull one. If you're worried about, I don't know what it means, just put the card you pulled. I'll help you through it. That's kind of what it's all about. Live streaming here to help you understand tarot a little bit more. So let's get some clarifiers for this judgment card. I've got the 4 of Swords. Oh, here we go. Justin has the World. Okay, couple of major arcana. So we've got Judgment and we've got the World. And Nicole's got the Emperor. What's with all the major arcanas? What does that mean? Well, it could mean that this is something we really need to pay attention to. It could be me saying that, yeah, that's what I've been working on lately, is all the major arcana going on. So let's pair this first with Justin's card. with the world and judgment. So judging and what I said before about how we're reacting and responding to what's going on. And Justin pulled the world card, which is like maybe it is pertaining to worldly events, things that are going around in the world. Maybe it's not like global, maybe it's your world, your bubble, your work, your relationships, your family. It's whatever feels right to you, whatever resonates. And if you know what I mean by that, it's kind of like, yeah, that makes sense to me. Because if what I'm saying or what you're pulling is like, no, then that's not what it means for you, right? And Nicole saying, this is the third time the Emperor showed up for me today. There you go. And we all know 3 is a powerful number. So that's trying to tell you something, right? Where do you need a little more faith and structure and trusting your own guidance? The energy you put out. Yeah, exactly. It's being mindful of that, right? And when we're more mindful of it, that then we have a little more control, because we can't control what's happening outside of us. All we can do is control how we react and respond. And I think those two things are different. To me, react is just, we just do it. We react without thought or consequence. But responding, to me, it takes a little more intellect. And it's like, okay, you're saying this, I really don't like it, or I really do. And then you respond with something that feels a little more healthy, a little more aligned. And it just feels like that's a good way to feel better about your interaction with other people, with the world. And Nicole, what I'm actually picking up is that Emperor is a persona, is a person, not necessarily just a major event or activity or something. It feels like it's a person, somebody that has more of a spiritual outlook. I know that's Hierophant, but for some reason I'm picking up that someone who has a real spiritual element to them, if that makes any sense. We'll go with it. All right. Oh, I popped them back in the deck, and Trish got the High Priestess. There we go. We all got major arcana. A High Priestess and the Emperor and the world and the Judgment. So this really feels like it's hierarchy, and it is something that feels like it's above our pay grade. So why should we care if there's nothing we can do about it? That's not probably a good attitude to have. And I've got to admit that sometimes that's the attitude I have. And it's almost like, well, where can I feel like I'm making a difference in my own life, in the world around me, or however you want to feel like making a difference? Maybe making a difference is just cleaning the clutter in your house or taking the garbage out that you've been meaning to, but you haven't. Making a difference doesn't always have to be a big major thing. I mean, even though these are all major arcana cards, sometimes it's happening in a minor way within our life, but it's something that, to me, it's like highlighted, that it's like, yeah, life can be mundane sometimes, but there's some big players that come in that need your attention. Nicole, I'm hoping to call in a spiritual mentor, a spiritual emperor. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. How are you going to do that? Let me know. Does anyone have a question? We can all pull tarot cards to help you. Or do you have a question about tarot itself? I'm here. I need a new slice of lemon. That one's a day old. I need freshness. No questions? Someone must have a question. What about you, Justin? You just got your first deck. How does that feel? Do you have any questions about it? I like to pair Oracle and Tarot, especially when I was first starting, because sometimes the Oracle card would kind of give you a base. So you could pull that Oracle card first and the message around it, and then pull a tarot to go with it. But you could also do it the other way around. You could pull the tarot card first and then the Oracle. Like there's no rule, which is kind of nice. You can create your own rules, right? Okay, I'm just shuffling for shuffling's sake, and the Five of Cups just spit itself out. Not the Five of Cups. The King of Cups. This is somebody who is honoring his emotions, someone who has that emotional intelligence. To me, this kind of feels like ordinary person emperor energy, Nicole. So someone who really understands their own emotions, who's maybe been through a lot of stuff, but he has taken the upper hand and understands how he feels. So I say he, and it's definitely masculine energy. It doesn't always have to be a male, but that's how it shows up. And he's someone who is looking toward the future, because seeing he's slightly focused on the future there, but he's still sitting comfortable, grounded. He's got the water around him, but he is above the water. So he definitely has a higher view, and he's not immersed in his emotions so much that he can't really see the real world for what it is. Justin, like if someone says something bad to you in your mind, you relive the situation. Yes. Change how you want it to feel, how you want it to be felt. They usually come to you to apologize. Okay, let me try and unpack this. I guess it's how you relive it in your mind. Like if you're reliving it in a negative way, then sometimes you're pushing away the opportunity for it to come back and allow you some closure to it, I think. Let me know if I was way off. Nicole says, I haven't been receiving the energy of my decks as well recently. I still practice daily, but it hasn't been flowing. Yeah, I get what you mean. I kind of been feeling that as well myself. Like it feels like as soon as, like this morning, I also did a live, and it seemed as soon as I turned the recording on, like pressed live, bleh, my brain turned to mush. And it's been, like walking through deep mud to try and get the information across. I think I'm already feeling, and you might be too, that Mercury is at that slow down stage before it goes retrograde, because it's in the process. It's getting close to going retrograde. Not quite yet, but yeah, I think I'm definitely feeling that. And the cool thing is that you're still practicing daily. And I hope you at least go, yeah, okay, well, that's all I'm getting right now. And it's totally okay. It's totally good. And it's okay to step away from it for a little bit too, to really honor your energy. There's big changes coming. This whole month there's a lot of things that have been shifting and changing for sure, astrologically speaking, right? Well, I've been using playing cards, and I use them as angel numbers. Yeah, I love that. I love that. And realistically, playing cards, that's basically where they came from, tarot, especially the minor arcana. Hey, I got a trivia question for you. Not question. I have a bit of trivia for you. I can't even remember how I found this out, but in tarot, the suits, like from ace to 10, they're called the pip cards, P-I-P, pip cards, right? And then you have the court cards that go along with it. Well, I found out that the little like circles on dice, on a die, are called pips. So it's same thing, like the number of pips. You have 5 pips on the dice. That's the fifth one. Like 5 of wands. That's the fifth pip of the wands. I just find it interesting that everything is kind of coming together. I'm starting to go a little bit deeper into how things used to be. I only read the cards that flop out. Yeah, feel it. When I first started reading tarot, the cards wouldn't flop out. I would actually spread them out like this, and I would use my hand across the top until I felt like I needed to stop. Sometimes it would be you're just flowing along and then you just couldn't keep going. Sometimes it would be I would feel something and that would make me stop and choose the card underneath it. Yeah, there's no wrong way to do it. Every way is the right way of doing it. Even if it's just shuffling until you stop and you take the top card, or you look at the bottom card. Oh my gosh, it's like a magic trick. This one again. I had to use a lot of Sharpie ink to cover these people up. That's cool. What does pip mean? Yeah, good question. Someone Google it. I'm on live, so I can't. Google it and let me know. I guess it just means counting those the little dots or the little minor things. Like pip could be like a pawn in the chess game. Like I just found it interesting that it was the same on a dice as it is in the tarot cards. It is cool. I don't know. It's just fun to see how things synchronize together. And I'm like, well, dice are a game, tarot's a game, playing cards are games. It's just a type of, realistically, it's a type of divination, no matter how you look at it. Anyone have a question they want to ask, and we can all pull cards for you? This flopped out of the deck, 3 of Pentacles. This is kind of our number of connecting as a group. This is almost like the number for the Tarot Cafe. It's either the 3 of Pentacles or the 3 of Cups. And with this 3 of Pentacles, it feels like I'm always drawn to the person who was like the craftsman who put together these 3 pentacles. But sometimes it's the people who are there supervising or inspecting, or they're the one who was the architect and he's the one who was the artisan who created it. But either way, everyone needed to be involved in order to bring this piece of work to fruition. So it's definitely the number of community, connecting with yourself and with other people to create something for the greater good or for the good of the group. All right, Nicole, pip is a small seed in a fruit or a dot on a dice or a card. Oh, okay. I always thought it was the pit, but pip, yeah, makes sense. Interesting. Thank you for checking that out for us. So it's like a measurement, I guess, of a single thing, and you can count as many up. How many pips in a fruit? Don't count strawberries. There's way too many. As a verb, it means to break through a shell. Okay. Interesting. Got trivia night here. Justin says, I used to take and rub my hands together to teach myself to feel the energy of the push. Yeah, that you are activating your hand chakras. We have not just those big 7 chakras in our body, but we've got minor chakras in our hands and in our feet and at all the joints. That's why we can feel so much with our hands and even with our feet. And I know logically we're like, well, you know, the nerve endings and you're stimulating the nerve endings. But when you can feel that pressure as you put your hands closer together and pull them apart. There's more to it than that. That's one of the things I loved to do when I was teaching my Reiki classes. Before I would even attune people to Reiki, I'd be like, so just, practice. And some people would feel it before they even had Reiki yet. But then I would get them to do it after their attunement. And even if they only noticed it a little bit or not at all, everyone felt that energy ball bigger and brighter than ever before. It's a real great way to start trusting in how you pick up energy, because what you feel is how you start to perceive energy. Like do you feel tingly? Do you feel heat? Do you feel coolness? Do you just feel that stickiness? Do you just not feel, but you just sense in whatever way you figure you sense it? Like that's how you get to determine how you perceive energy. The same thing with tarot. How do you come up with the message that comes through you? Is it by visually looking at what the card shows you? Do you see color first, and then that introduces the energy that you're feeling from the card, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, upbeat, lower energy? So you trust that a lot more because that's how you're perceiving the card. It's not saying what I pick up is different, is wrong or right or righter or more correct. It's just I'm picking up a different thing. Like Trish was saying, seeing things like it's observing a cloud is what we pick up, something a little different than the other person, depending on our own perspective, right? Kundalini, I love doing that too. Yeah, that's an interesting meditation, focusing on that energy, going up the Sushumna. Very cool. So no one has any questions? I didn't come prepared for tonight. I usually have a few more days to prepare. I show my daughter how we could communicate with each other doing it. I love that. That's cool. I love teaching the young ones. When I first learned Reiki to as a practitioner, I was showing my daughter different things in the energy ball. She was so excited. She was like, Mom, I want you to teach me. And at that time, it was like I had no intention of learning Reiki master level. No intention at all until she said that. And that kind of planted the seed. And then it was like, yeah, maybe. It took a couple years, but I got there. And then I gave her level 1. It would help me practice being a teacher and also practicing the attunements. Woo! I'm just playing along with the cards. Here's another one that came out, 6 of Swords. So what comes up for you when the 6 of Swords shows up? Okay. One word. What does this mean to you? To me, this feels like it's moving forward, moving to the next phase. Everyone is looking toward the future. They want to have the calmer shores. But with all these swords in the boat, which represent your thoughts, your beliefs, you got to make sure what you're bringing with you to the new land are things that support you. Because not often, but sometimes we want change and we want to move from where we are, but we end up taking the baggage with us and we wonder why we keep repeating the same patterns over and over again. We've got to be willing to let that baggage go and only take the thoughts and the beliefs that are going to support us in that new situation. The swords are in front. Watch your thoughts. Bango, bingo, exactly. Where is it here? Trish saying leaving something. Yeah, I like that. Leaving something behind. Making sure, do you want to leave it behind? Because sometimes we have regrets and we're like, should I have? And then that causes us to kind of backpedal a little bit and go back into those old patterns. Yep, thoughts become things. Choose the good ones. Yep, very, very cool. Someone pull a card. Pull a clarifier for that Six of Swords. Overthinking, yes. Don't we all do that? Or am I the only one? I know I'm not the only one. Let's pull a clarifier for that, everyone, if you feel like it. Clarify moving forward. And depending on what card you pull will determine the overall message. Comments are slow. There we go. Trish got the Page of Cups. So you really need to leave behind those thoughts that are not serving you. Page of Cups is being willing to just jump in with your whole heart and to change your perspective at your own will. Be willing to do that. You know, that fish in the cup of the traditional Rider-Waite version of the Page of Cups, is he really seeing a fish or is he making it up? Doesn't really matter. That's moving forward, is doing something and thinking a little bit differently and feeling a little bit differently, because cups are all about feelings and intuition. Thanks, Trish. That was good. More cups. Nicole got the Knight of Cups, Page of Cups, Knight of Cups. Oh my gosh. For Beauty Paint, hey, how are you? She got the 10 of Cups in reversed. Trisha's saying a calling of some kind for that Page of Cups. Yeah, I like that. It feels light. Justin got the 3 of Wands. Okay, let's unpack this. So Nicole, Knight of Cups with the Page of Cups and the 6 of Swords. To me, the Knight of Cups is always about love and self-love. And what do you love? What are you sacrificing that is preventing you from enjoying and having what you love? And Beauty Paint here, the 10 of Cups in reverse is like, to me, that feels like a sacrifice. It's like having that beautiful rainbow of cups above you that still feels out of reach. You got to bring it down to the ground, but you don't want to bring it so it's crashing down, like reality crashing in on you. I would have rather reality just kind of float down and go, yes, here we go. I don't want something crashing down on my head. So it's seeing it from the perspective of, how can I make this gentler? And then the 3 of Wands is, again, we've got the number of 3, which brings in community. And Wands is about, he's standing there on the shore looking out at the boats, but he hasn't taken the action yet. Melissa, I see your question there. Give me a second. And he's still, is he Is he hesitating, or is he ready to take the step forward? This is the question to ask, right? Like, we don't really know. Like, we want what we want, but are we willing to do what it takes to get there? That's the question. So if we're always pushing beyond and we want to move beyond the commerce, we want to move to the calmer shores, there's some things we really got to release and let go of in order to get there. So yeah, Trish asks a good question because she knows, because she reads like I do. So Melissa, will I ever get to see Andrew again? So here's the thing. If I pulled a tarot card and it said no, how would that make you feel? Probably not good, right? So tarot works best not as a yes or a no question, but as a more self-empowered question. Okay. And then, so Trish says here, so what do you need to know about Andrew? See, that's a better way to word it, because then tarot has a better chance of giving you a message about that than to just say, will I ever get to see him? Because you're also not putting your own free will into it, right? Does that make sense? Howdy, Dana. I'd bum out. Yeah, you would. So you don't want to ask questions you don't want the answers to. So let's go with what Trish said, and she's already pulled a card. What do you want to know about Andrew? What do you want to know about your situation with Andrew? And this is for Melissa. Oh, look at everybody's got cards pulled. Let me catch up. I was holding them upside down. So you got the Emperor. So to me, this feels like you're putting Andrew on a pedestal. This is Andrew. It's like he's out of reach. He's above you. He's better than you. He's not. That's what your heart and mind are putting out there. He's not. He's your equal. And you need to bring him back down to your level, or back up to your level. Okay. So it feels more aligned, and it's not somebody who you feel like you have to live up to. You've got to bring them down back to humanity level instead of treating them like they're way above who you are. That's what I pick up. And now let's see what everyone else is pulling. So Trish got the 9 of Cups and the 7 of Cups. So based on how you're feeling about Andrew, you have choices to make based on what Trish said. So the choices, 7 of Cups, that's where there's a whole bunch of different cups and you've got to choose. How do you feel? Because it feels to me like you feel like you're all over the map with him. It's like sometimes you feel really good. Other times you're confused. Like what's his deal? The 9 of Cups, from what Trish pulled, is what you want. You want to have that victory. You want him in your life. But you haven't had the evidence that that's what's going to happen because of the relationship the way it is now, if that makes sense. Justin says, Melissa, I feel you need to do some self-manifestation. And yes, there's 70% chance he just happened to believe it and know it and see it. Melissa says, I know all I need to know about him. He's gone to Australia. Will he come back to New Zealand? And hey, from over there, by the way. Again, yes or no? Well, we don't know. And we can't really ask questions about other people because everyone has their own free will. So realistically, what would make you happy? Like maybe you're putting all of your eggs in one basket, so to speak, for him. Maybe there's someone better for you than Andrew, but you're so focused on Andrew that you're missing other opportunities that are coming to you. So I feel like what Trish pulled with that 9 of Cups, maybe it's focusing on how you want to feel putting your energy out there, same as what Justin was saying about you needing to be in manifestation mode. You need to be in attraction mode, not just specifically for Andrew, but for matching with the person you're meant to be with. Because maybe there's someone better than Andrew that's more, it's a more fulfilling relationship. It makes you feel on the same level as them instead of always walking on eggshells to see if, please, will it work? You know? Here we go. Nicole says, I got the Ace of Swords for Melissa. And what was your insight for that, Nicole? Because Ace of Swords is thoughts and intellect. Ace of Swords is like really knowing what you want and being resolute in, this is what I want. This is what I'm willing to take, and I'm not willing to put up with anything that doesn't align with it. And that's where you need to take your stand. Pretty much spot on. Great. Because you deserve to have the best in your life. We all deserve it. But sometimes we think we know what it is. We think it's Andrew because we felt really good at some point with him. And we naturally attach to that because it's easiest, because we know it, it's familiar. And yet maybe it's not saying, go out and hit on everyone out there, but it's what do you want that's true to you? When you're more aligned and true to yourself, that's when you're going to attract all the things that align with your values and what you're seeking. Then you don't have to go chasing. It comes to you. And Trisha's saying the 9 is at the end of your feelings for him, perhaps. Yeah, 9 of Cups, maybe. Maybe it's kind of finally come to an end. I like that. Ace of Cups, find someone or something new. And Nicole, for her Ace of Swords, she says, opening up to new thoughts about your situation. And I think that's what we're doing here. It's like the Ace of Swords is the can opener. It's opening things up to let you see things from a different perspective. Happy to help. That's what we're here for. My card has someone opening an oyster and finding a pearl. Interesting. And that pearl happens because a little grain of sand got in there and was irritating to the oyster. So it kept covering it over with something. It kept trying to shift it and change it. And then next thing you know, it created it into this pearl. And I really simplified the heck out of that. But that's what I get from it. He's a friend, not a boyfriend, and I just started self-help. I've got my toolbox, just need to get help to get the tools put in it. And there be lots of guys out there better than him. There you go. There you go. And Trish has a question in there. Is Andrew on a 3-month work gig? So were you wanting him to be a boyfriend? I mean, there's the potential, but at the same time, while he's away, you're doing your own work. And you just said right here that you're honing your skills. You're sharpening the tools to put in your toolbox. And I love that. And that's all we all can really do to stay congruent to our own reason to be put on this earth, is to learn, is to grow, is to share our experiences, is to help other people. And all of the above. Thank you for asking that. Everyone jumped in. Thank you, everyone. Anyone have any other questions? What are your zodiac signs for the Chinese zodiac? That's coming up next Tuesday. I'm going to have a special live stream on Tuesday doing forecasts for all of the Chinese zodiac. I'm year of the dragon. I'm the year of the wood dragon. Melissa's the year of the pig. Nicole's the monkey. Melissa says, I was in a 20-year relationship and we had one son. I left him um, when our son was wee. I've never really done anything for myself. Yes, at first I did want him. Well, there you go. And now you have a son, which is a beautiful gift. And regardless if he comes back or not, he has responsibilities. So there's that. But yeah, this is your time now. So you're not tied down to that. I love it. He matters enough for you to ask about him. There you go. Good point. Trish is very observant. And you're turning 55 on the 20th. Ooh, well, happy early birthday. You know, it's so funny. My marriage ended when I was 55. It wasn't a good thing, but I said, freedom 55, baby. So here I am at 61, doing my thing. I love it. 55 is good. 55 is about big changes, and big changes aren't always scary and bad. I love it. 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. 10's a good number. 10 is the ending or beginning. I love it. Justin, if you feel nervous or anxious or anything about a relationship, love just happens. So you got to look at your heart and do what brings peace. We flow, no pull or push. The wisdom in this beautiful community. I'm loving it. Oh, you're a gold monkey. Metal monkey then, because there's all the elements. But gold is good. I'll take it. My son is 21 now. Yeah. So still your baby, right? My daughter's going to be the big 3-0 this year. She's still my little baby. Even though she could put me in a headlock. Trisha's Year of the Dog. Lucky. Been single for 17 years. I had a son to raise. Well, good for you. So this is your time, and your son's at the legal age now he's an adult. This is your time to start doing things in your own way. And from personal experience, I know that sometimes it feels like you're a ship out at sea without a navigator, because it's like, this is so new now. I don't have to care for him, and I don't have that sphere of influence anymore. And it can feel a little daunting, but that's okay. It's different. That 6 of Swords was for you. Moving on to calmer shores. Take the beliefs you want to take the baggage that helps you move into the next stage. Leave the heavy baggage back at camp, never to be seen again. Yeah. The hardest part of kids growing up is letting them grow up, letting them make their own choices, zipping your lip when you know better, but you can't say nothing. That's the hardest part for me. Baby boy. Yeah. How's your son doing? When are you going to visit him? I think you said in May or something. Aw, what a beautiful community we have. Thank you, Justin. Yes, it's my time for me, and it's very strange. Yeah, but we're at a different stage than we were in our 20s, hoping we had life and wanted to do what we want. Like, we're at a different stage now. There's certain things that can come a lot easier and a lot more challenging, but that's just part of our experience in being here. It's hard to learn to be yourself again. Yeah, because we can't go back to being who we were before. We have too much going on. I did this real self-actualization thing for myself. Probably in the summer it came to me that I was like, I'm girl interrupted from like 33 years. It would have been that I was with my ex, not married for the whole time. But it was like, I can't go back to who I was before I met him. I'm girl interrupted. So I need to know, with all the things I've learned, all the experiences that I've had. I have a daughter now. We have a really close and amazing relationship. I'm very grateful for that. And who am I now and what do I want now? And I've got to remember that all the conditioning that I've gone through to be in that family dynamic, it's way different now. And it's up to me to stop and remember, oh, yeah, that isn't a block anymore. I don't have to contain that anymore. And I say that for me because maybe that's helpful for you too. For Beauty Paint says, maybe another good question would be, what could she concentrate on to bring healing love into her life, whether it's self-love or romantic love? That was the nature of the subject. Yes. Yeah. And it's funny because the cards kind of flipped over and this came up, 3 of Swords. So it's about healing. What can you do to heal, to release, to forgive, and to be in a state of I love, I feel. What's that? Ho'oponopono? Thank you. Please forgive me. I love you. I'm mixing them all up. I used to say them as a mantra. Ho'oponopono is a great way of releasing and forgiving and bringing in love. Thanks, guys. My son is in his 4th year of university studying physics. Wow, good for him. Physics isn't easy, especially gravity. Awesome. Melissa, I've got the Empress, lots of potential and life in you. Beautiful, Trish. 6 of Cups, let go of old feelings. 5 of Wands. I love it. Yes, thank you. Helps a lot. Seeing a psychologist to help me get my tools in my toolbox. Good for you. Good for you. And that's so good that you're getting help from someone who knows what they're doing. And you're also willing to show up at a tarot cafe and just be willing to see what magic comes through. And from the people who bring in the magic, like Trish, there will be challenges. 9 of Pentacles. You have resources and options to develop. Amen to that. Very good. Well, I hope that was helpful. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on anything, and hit that like button. Oh, let's get this one first. I just want to learn to do for me now and get more self-worth. You're keen to do this. Yes. And I got the Sun card, which I love. And then Trish, she's got the Magician, make the magic happen. And I think when you just allow the sun in and you allow yourself to just bask in this newness, like there's a baby on the horse, and this baby is just willing to be vulnerable, to just ride that horse. And interesting, we're getting into the fire horse energy next week. So allow it to help give you the energy and the strength you need to bring that Magician energy in. 2 of Cups, finding partners in your journey. Partnering with the divine, I feel, is good. Maybe it's also with the psychologist. So there you go. Yeah. Yeah. Nicole got the High Priestess. Trust your inner knowing. And there's those major arcanas, like Trish got the Magician, Nicole's getting the High Priestess, and you are the High Priestess, right? We question ourselves because that's how we learn and grow. So don't assume a question is because you don't know the right answer or you don't trust yourself. It's like that's how we find out what our boundaries are. And is that a tool you need for your toolbox? You know, this is how you can use your own judgment and discernment. And Justin says, see, when I went through my divorce, I started seeing restaurants, hearing music on the radio. everything kind of went back to who I was before I got married and I was 18 again. Yeah, that's what classic rock has been doing for me. Every time I hear it, I have all of these memories. They're either just before I met my ex or when we were together. And then it's like, I've got to separate that and just go back to that girl interrupted, or in your case, Justin, guy interrupted. Yeah. Sun and sun. You're good at finding the symbolism. She's speaking in beautiful symbolism talk. Kia ora. What does that mean? I know a Kia is a type of car, but I know that's not what you mean. Yes. All right. Let's pull one more card before we say sayonara. And I'm going to pull from this Shaman Dream Oracle. I understand that now. Just yeah, I love it. Yeah. Baby is right. We see that now at 18. We're like, I'm an adult. All right. The Shaman's Dream Oracle. This is for everybody. It means hello. Okay. Beautiful. At least you know what it means. Here we go. Of course, they all go flying. And Maori. Oh, there you go. You're very worldly, Trish. Glad to have you in our circle. Netcaster. Preparations come to fruition. Beautiful. So she's very ethereal and she's holding a beautiful net. It looks like she's part of the cosmos. I want to read from the do I have the book? Yes. So it's number 42. So 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 to me is a number of reciprocity. It's a number of balance. And it feels like if you've been feeling frustrated that all you've been doing, you haven't been noticing or seeing the fruition, this is reminding you that it is on its way. Don't stop because you're not seeing results. Keep going because the results will be even better. You got the sun too. Sun and sun. All right, let me see. Oh, I went right to it. I flipped and then... But anyways, what else do we have here? And Nicole got the Empress. Beautiful. So I'm just going to read here. Take the next step that you have been planning for so long. Remember that the fish wait for no one. So time is of the essence. Heaven and earth are in perfect alignment for your victory. The stars are positioned for success. The only one who can spoil the perfection of the moment is you. If you ask, do I really deserve this? You will sabotage the magic and shatter the crystalline flawlessness of the now. So in other words, you are deserving. One more. Bide your time until all the conditions are right. Now, when you see that bide your time, it doesn't mean to sit there and wait and look. Bide your time means trust and have faith. And keep going. Surrender to what is and do what you can. That's what I pick up from that. There you go. I love it. How's Elliot? Thank you for asking. He's doing pretty good. I think the plate that's in there, the vet said that it might irritate him a bit because it's very close to his wrist. And it has been bugging him. Actually, today has been a good day, but sometimes he'll favor it or he'll yelp a bit, and it kind of has me concerned. So I'm on watch for it. I might get in touch with the vet, the surgeon, if it bothers him anymore. But so far, so good. I have some homeopathy for him. I have some arnica that he can take that I got from a professional dog whisperer. Depends on what kind of fish. Goldfish will wait, especially if you feed them. Oh, that's cute. And you've got your little goldfish on there too. Uh, yeah, it's true. But would they if they weren't in a bowl, in a aquarium? Koi fish, they're just glorified goldfish, right? Koi fish, they come swimming up to get the food. Very cool. Ah, well, thank you everyone for being here. We're at the top of the hour, just beyond the top of the hour. I'm so appreciative. We're a tiny but tough little group of tarot buffs. Appreciate you being here, and hope you have a fantastic week. We'll be here next Tuesday for some wonderful fire horse energy. I'm trying to decide whether to do two. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull two off in one day. So I'm trying to figure out if I should stick with my Tarot Tuesday at 11 a.m. or if I should do one in the evening. I'm not really sure. What do you guys think? Why don't you let me know? I'll post something on my community post. You can always comment there as well. And I appreciate you being here so much. Melissa, it's really great that I hope that everyone was able to give you some insight. Here, ra'ah means goodbye. Thanks everyone for your kind words. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for coming from halfway across the globe. And everyone for all of your insights. Always wonderful to hang out with you guys and play tarot. So have a good night. We'll see you next week. Peace.